What is good, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to another PE Nintendo Switch news video. Today we've got some awesome information for you, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The full North American site is open for ARMS. Nintendo has opened the full North American website for ARMS. Access it in the description below. It contains almost everything you need to know about the game, including an overview, details about the fighters. You can also view videos and pre-order the game. Now, I do want to talk briefly about my impressions of ARMS. I've played 3 of the global test punches as far as the hour-long slots, and I do have to say the game is quite amazing. Now, I'll have more of a full recap probably with some other YouTubers and other people so we can get kind of a roundtable discussion on the game. But so far, I am loving it. I think this IP is so good. And look, this is going to be a little bit of a controversial opinion, and I'll share it a little bit later, but this is much better than Punch-Out has ever been. I've seen some people talk about how this is like a diet Punch-Out, and yes, I'm doing quotations around that word. Some people were saying that via Twitter, and I'm like, this has more characters than Punch-Out. This has more mechanics than Punch-Out. This has way more abilities, weapons, everything that you can do. And then they also said this game is real gimmicky. But Punch-Out, it's one of the most gimmicky games. It's like a puzzle game, and you don't even get to move around your own as Little Mac. So that's why I've never really talked about Punch-Out as wanting to see it come back, because after the Wii version, I was like, yo, this can be like a $10 eShop download or something like that. Whereas ARMS is a full game. There's online play. You can play against others. There's 4 players. There's 2-on-2. There's volleyball. There's so much other stuff to do in ARMS beside like Punch-Out. Punch-Out has none of the options that ARMS has. So to me, ARMS is such a better IP. Just my opinion. There's a lot more stuff to do. I think that it's really good. The controls work very well in terms of the motion controls and the standard controls. With the standard controls, I think there's less room for error, and that's why there's some people that are saying, yeah, standard controls are better, but motion controls are still good. Like, if you use them and get used to them, you can really like get to know them and do good with them. The only problem is that most people, like when you fight someone, you're like this, you're not like this, and that's the main problem that I'm having with the motion controls, is just adjusting myself, because I was a kickboxer, all right? So adjusting myself to go like this when I'm technically like motion control fighting someone. I want to fight someone like this. I'm not trying to fight someone like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. So that's the only adjustment that I see from like a realistic standpoint in using motion controls. But I understand what they're trying to do. There's certain limitations that you can have, but they're still really good. But overall, what do you guys think about ARMS? Let me know in the comment section below. But we are going to move on to the next story here, and that is Fire Emblem on the Nintendo Switch. So the Nintendo Switch will allow for a completely different Fire Emblem, will breathe life into characters like never before, according to Intelligent Systems. So, tying in with the launch of Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, a French website spoke with 3 of the game's developers. So here's an excerpt from the interview. Here's the first question. Do you see Fire Emblem as a handheld series first and foremost? The latest home console release was Radiant Dawn 10 years ago, and though a new Fire Emblem is coming to Nintendo Switch next year, a lot of players had their hopes for a Wii U installment. Do you think the Wii U wasn't suited for a series like Fire Emblem, or were there other reasons to focus on the Nintendo 3DS? Yagami responded with, the Fire Emblem series has a long history of home console games. While we were developing this title on a handheld console, we felt like we were reaching the apex of our work on Nintendo 3DS. Looking back, we don't believe the series is a handheld one above all else. In the future, we hope to have more opportunities to create home console games. Nagashi also responded with, as it was said earlier, we're currently working on Fire Emblem game on Nintendo Switch. With this title designed for home consoles, we should be able to offer a completely different Fire Emblem, breathing life into our characters like never before. Now, just to highlight more an excerpt of the interview, the website also asked ideas for Fire Emblem spin-offs. Yagami had this to say in response, I think many people were surprised of our collaboration with Atlas for Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. If we revealed our ideas beforehand, there wouldn't be a surprise anymore. Laughs. This autumn, another game based on a collaboration will come out, Fire Emblem Warriors. I hope you'll look forward to it. Now, I'm really looking forward to Fire Emblem Warriors. I think that is going to be a fantastic game, and I think it really suits the Musou series better than ever before. This could potentially be the best-selling Musou game of all time. I'm dead serious about that. With the popularity of the Nintendo Switch, the popularity of Fire Emblem, this game could sell massive amounts because there's just so many characters. They can also make a killing off the DLC too, so expect there to be a season pass, expect there to be all that, because there's way too many Fire Emblem characters for all of them to be in their standard. There's like hundreds of Fire Emblem characters, right? There's so many that you can put into the game, and there's so much popularity and lore and backgrounds and locations and areas and weapons. Fire Emblem is perfect for the Musou series. Much better fit than Hyrule Warriors in my opinion. So expect this game to sell really big, and it's coming out for the new Nintendo 3DS, and it's also coming out for the Nintendo Switch. So you have a base of two different systems. The new Nintendo 3DS, I don't know where sales are exactly of that model because I think it's exclusive to that model if I'm not correct. I don't know where the sales are, but I'm pretty sure that it's 20 million plus, right? It has to be at least 20 million for the new Nintendo 3DS. So you have that base, plus you have the Nintendo Switch as well, which should add another maybe 10 million by the end of the year. So you got a good base to sell to. I think a lot of people are going to pick it up. And of course, this is going to be an evergreen title. I think it's going to sell for the course of the Nintendo Switch's life. So I think it's going to do very well. Now moving on to Fire Emblem on the Nintendo Switch. I talked about this before about Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia breathing new life into characters that we haven't seen before, even though Alm and Celica aren't new characters. I think this is going to take it to another level, like I've said before. We're going to be able to see details. We're going to be able to see facial expressions. We're going to be able to see so many different things that we just haven't seen in a Fire Emblem game. There has never been an original Fire Emblem game made from the ground up for an HD console. There just hasn't. I think it's going to be amazing, this Fire Emblem game. And playing Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, I see so many mechanics, so many different things, gameplay improvements, stuff that they can do to make this Fire Emblem game a mega hit, and I do think that it is going to be very well reviewed. It is going to do so well. So I'm a Fire Emblem fan. I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, obviously, and I think that they're really going to pour everything they got into this title, and it's going to be something very special when it releases in 2018 on the Nintendo Switch. Alright, and lastly, we do have one rumor where Nintendo is going to be increasing Nintendo Switch production, targeting 18 million units by March 2018. So a new report from the Financial Times claims that Nintendo is increasing production of the Nintendo Switch. The outlet's report is based on information obtained from people close to the company. With demand not being met and consumers becoming frustrated, production is apparently seeing a boost. Financial Times says Nintendo is now targeting Switch hardware production of 18 million units for 12 months ending March 2018. Nintendo previously set a forecast of 10 million units for the current financial year. For its part, Nintendo is denying an increase of Switch's production to that level. Since its forecast has already been determined, it would be unlikely for the company to come out and say anything official to the Financial Times. So yeah, I don't really know about this, if Nintendo's going to increase production that much. We also heard rumors, or even just a little bit ago, that Nintendo would be increasing production from 8 million units to 16, so doubling up. So there's a lot of conflicting reports out there, and once again, it is a rumor. But yes, in some parts of the United States, some parts of the world, there are major problems with some people getting a Nintendo Switch, and not necessarily because Nintendo isn't shipping out units and restocking them. It's that people just want the system to be there. They don't realize that it is a hot system. You need to ask questions. You need to make sure that you understand when these retailers get their product in. That's the reason why I've been able to send multiple pictures of me seeing Nintendo Switches and putting them out on Twitter just via Walmart, because I know when the shipments are coming in. I ask the questions of the employees. That's all you have to do. But unfortunately, that is not enough. Nintendo needs to make sure that they have more out there so it can become a common thing. But it's definitely going to take time to have all the moving parts kind of come together. This is large-scale logistics that we're going down here, but I definitely think Nintendo is going to increase that production. We're really just not going to hear about it officially from them or anything like that. There was also a report that Nintendo was air shipping out units in order to get them out faster because they know that people are having trouble finding it. So that's one thing that Nintendo is going to do. They're going to try to make sure that they can restock as quick as possible, especially with big games like ARMS and Splatoon 2, and you also have in Japan, you have Monster Hunter. So they're going to get units out. They're going to increase the production as much and as fast as they can within a reasonable amount of time. So we'll just see. I'm not so sure about this, but if it is true, I wouldn't doubt it, just because Nintendo Switch is really hot. They got a lot of games that are coming out. Obviously, Monster Hunter is coming, so you have to increase production, right? You can't go on the same track. I do feel that production will be increased, and they're definitely doing that, and they're taking the necessary steps to get more units out there. I just don't know if everything about this article is true as far as what they're saying and what's going on, but we will have to wait and see on that one. I know Nintendo has a financial meeting, I think next month or something like that, next month or the month after, something like that. So we'll see what they have to say, see where sales are at. I would guess that right at this point they're around maybe 4.5 to 5 million, maybe 6, somewhere in that range. So we'll see what Nintendo has to say at their financial briefing and if there's going to be any increase in production going forward. Alright Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Make sure you check out the links in the description below. There you'll have links over to our Facebook and Twitter page, social media. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow. Also make sure you check out our Patreon page, link in the description below. We'll be giving away a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Guardian amiibo, in addition to having $10 prized eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Smash Brothers, ARMS, and much more. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to catch you ninja for the next video. Peace.